In the upper left, in the blue, he's for Onside Gaming, the greatest player to ever touch the GSL. It's Maru. And in the bottom right, in the red for Shopify Rebellion, give it up for ByuN. Good old TVT. Now, of course, the interesting thing here is ByuN is opening double racks, and Maru is opening single racks, and this is something that has really become more meta. I talked about this in the what was it, the Maru Gumiho series, where we are starting to see a bit more, I don't know, a bit more build variation, a bit more opener variation in how people are playing, right? Between Reaper expands and gas first builds coming back into it, and this home-based 2 racks Reaper idea, a bunch of other stuff. It really is becoming more and more popular that you don't just go barracks double gas factory every single game, which, you know what, I'm here for. Give me that, please. I'm tired of that. Like, that was such a dull era of TVT. Such a dull era, but then we got better maps, and not only did we get better maps, we got better we got a balance patch. Made Ravens like no longer the end-all be-all late game setup, and that was, you know, that allowed us to go and have a good time. That allowed us to go and expand the build orders that were available. So now, instead of TVT being this really painful matchup, TVT is actually turned into something that is really cool. So for now, 2 Reapers to 1 means that this command center on the low ground, it's forfeit. Reapers, they barely take damage from the KDA charge, so now trying to chase the 1 Reaper of Maru down. Heavy damage actually on the Hellion, but now we're going to have to wait for a couple more Reapers to arrive. Now it's 3 here for ByuN, but 2 more on the way. Continues to rally across. This might snowball. This might snowball quite a bit here. For now, though, solid concave. ByuN looks to commit a little bit more. 4 Reapers to, well, what is that? 5 Reapers, but 4 on the other side. So 4 Reapers to 3 in the Hellions. Yeah, this is going to be fine, actually. Maru holds on, trades army for army, and the Hellions avoid damage. You're more than happy to take damage on Reapers. That's going to heal. It's the Hellions that don't and needs a repair. So nice final shot there is going to mean that this pressure from Maru gets nothing done. But talking about that Raven changes, now Maru runs across the map. It was a couple that really took Ravens out of the dominance in this matchup. Number one, they're not nearly as powerful in the late game, right? Auto turrets are, I think they lost about 25 HP, 1 armor, and about 3 seconds of time. It's nice position on the high ground here from ByuN. He's going to get 1 heli, and he's going to get more great KDA charge as well. So ByuN gets a couple. Pressure from ByuN, you know, he's going to be, well, the first part of pressure from ByuN didn't work out, but Maru's counterpunch also blocked by a sandbag or something. But yeah, so Ravens, while they were buffed in terms of how expensive they are to build, you know, they were buffed by about, what is it? I think 50 gas. The big difference is, oh no, ByuN, don't run up this. Don't do what you just did to Maru. Yikes. Seems like this, no, the Hellion's not going to get out. And actually, he's going to re-engage here. Maybe seeing the armies clumped a little bit, but yeah, don't run up this ramp. Well, actually, no, Maru's going to run away, so maybe it's fine. Gets on top here. Marines will fall, but there's just too much army, especially with the cycle, and But hey, 4 Reapers actually into the main base here. This might be worth something here. It only takes 3 to 2-shot SCVs, so maybe there's going to be some damage as they run through the mineral line. KDA charges getting more. 3 workers. Can we see 3? The answer's no. Not at all. No way. Maru holds on. But yeah, anyway, going back to that Raven change now that we can talk about it. So Ravens were cheaper. Made cheaper in the early game. So you could get away with other builds that weren't quite as standardized on the gas count and still get your Ravens out. Instead of going barracks double gas factory, which is one reason why the early game builds have started to see variation. But in the mid game and the late game, Ravens are not as powerful as they used to be because auto turrets are, you know, they still do as much damage, but they go and they're not nearly as tanky. So here comes Maru on the other side. Tank sieges up here. SCV's pulled immediately here, but the Cyclone goes down, and this is something that Maru still has access to. So the SCVs, the Hug of Death is just not killing this tank. Cyclones and Reapers are just killing things. Now eventually this tank will go down, but a tank eats the shot as well here. It's a disaster. It truly is a disaster from ByuN at this point, losing more and more workers. Cyclone will eventually, oh, it gets saved. Last shot gets saved here. And I think a Liberator, what was that? Yeah, Liberator from ByuN gets a couple workers from Maru on the other side. But yeah, anyway, so eventually we'll be able to talk about this Raven idea. Auto turrets, they don't take as much, they are far less tanky. Less 25 HP, less 1 armor, they last 3 seconds less. On top of that, anti-armor missile, only -2 armor instead of -3. So between those two changes, Ravens are not quite as dominant in the late game. You can afford to go Liberator Viking instead. You can stay in the mid game. You can go Massive Marine a little bit more because, you know, Ravens don't totally invalidate your entire game plan. And because of that, the game has become, we've had a lot more flexibility in openings. It's not just all I need to get 2 Ravens and I need 400 gas for that, so this is what I'm going to do. There's more flexibility in openings because you only need 300 gas now. And the late game is not as Raven dominated, so it allows for more. It allows for a more flexible gameplay, which is just sparks a lot of joy. So for now, Maru got a drop on the left, or excuse me, not a drop, a Raven on the bottom left side. Going to try to find some value there. And ByuN, he's got a double drop. 8 Marines, 2 tanks, looking to run across the map here, but there are 2 Cyclones already, so ByuN doesn't really feel like he's going to be able to get all that much. Lock on there on 1 Medevac, and Medevac actually not going to provide the vision, so that, at the very least, you don't lose the tanks. You don't lose those Medevacs there, but now, Maru, he's up 5 workers in the good. Let's see if he can find any more here. Auto turret spammed, and this is where Ravens are still absolutely fantastic. 2 workers go down. Hug of Death is gonna, I mean, it's gonna kill the auto turrets, but 5, 6 workers fall here, and now Doom drop into the main. It's 4 Medevacs, not just the 2. Lock on Marines, not the tanks, and this is a problem. But tanks are already sieged here from Maru. Marines get on top of them, but it's a nice saving grace. And now Marines get on top of the tanks as well. Cyclones knock them down. And this is just, it's 15 dead workers. Sure, fine, absolutely. But this is not nearly the amount of damage that it looked like this quad drop was going to be able to find. And now, well, this tank, it's dead. Okay, the tank falls. And now lock on, not going to get the Medevacs. If anything, this just equalizes things. ByuN took so much damage from the Ravens on the other side that he's up 4 workers. I mean, it's nice. But it's not this incredible setup that we expected. But now ByuN, stim combat shields done. Maru, his stim only just now complete. Combat shields on the way, but he's got such faster eBay upgrades that I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a wash. You know, ByuN's combat shields are much faster, but his 1-1 is slower. You know, obviously it's the other way, opposite way around with Maru on his upgrades. But I think by the time that both players have 1-1 and combat shields, I think it's going to be right around the same time. So Maru, though, for now, he feels really confident to move out on the map. He's up 20 army supply. He's got 1-1 to 0-0. And yeah, combat shields are really nice. It's like a 20% HP boost. It's fairly significant. In fact, one might argue that combat shield's more important than +1 armor. You don't have the +1 attack still. You can't do as much damage, so the tanks will fall here. SCV's getting pulled before the tank siege, but the SCV pull doesn't matter because now the tanks are here and the SCVs, they're all dead, and so too is ByuN. Maru takes game 1. In the upper left, he's up 1 game here in this losers match, looking for a date with Solar to find his way forward. It's Maru. And the bottom right in the red, down a map, looking for the comeback. ByuN. And it seems like we're not going to see double racks play out of ByuN in this game number 2. And quite honestly, he went and he kind of fumbled the bag a little bit. He had pressure, he had opportunity, but he overcommitted, lost a lot of stuff, and just kind of played the game from down tempo. But as I say that, I really thought this was, well, actually, you know what? I should have listened to my instincts. I'm like, oh, that SUV seems a little weird. And it is. Because there's a second barracks on the map here. And ByuN's taking a page out of Mark Schlappy's book. Good old proxy one barracks, build one at home. It's still 2 racks Reaper. But it's kind of hard to scout, right? Because Maru's going to scout this and it's like, okay, well, you know, this barracks is at the right timing. A big deal, of course, is that, you know, this is double gas. And there won't be a factory by the time that Maru scouts. But also, actually, no, there's not going to be a wall on the high ground here. So Maru should be able to get his way into the main base. And from there, you're like, okay, well, single racks, no factory, double gas. That is a wonderful... did Maru check the second gas? Okay, now he's going to, yeah. So now Maru knows what's happening. Sees the double gas. Sees the lack of anything in the mains. Like, yeah, there's something proxy. Okay. And we see him just checking every corner of this base now. So now he knows. And that means that we should see just Hellions pop out of this factory very quickly early on. But ByuN now, he's on a bit of a timer. You know, he's got 2 Reapers. He's going to have a 3rd one on the way and a 4th one as well. But the big deal about this, Maru would have loved to build his command center on the low ground, and in part that's what ByuN would have been looking for, but he's not, because he got the scout. And now Maru, I mean, what is he gonna, like, he just hold the high ground. He's gonna have Hellions out. He's building Reapers. He's not gonna be that far behind in the Reaper count for a while, because again, ByuN, it's not proxy 2 racks Reaper, it's only proxy 1 racks off of 2 racks Reapers. So, you know, Defender's advantage is still pretty solid. And as the Hellions pop out here, Widow Mines as well, this just feels over before it even begun. I mean, this is classic ByuN. He's going to try to be aggressive, but this just doesn't feel all that relevant. I mean, yeah, maybe do damage to the SCV, delay the command. It's not even going to do that. Hellion takes some damage, but you can repair that, of course. And Widow Mine on the ramp. This is a disaster for ByuN. I mean, he committed so much to this. He's going to try to make up for it a little bit, getting a command center on the low ground. But, I mean, the scary thing here is not even that Maru's base is faster, because it is. I mean, you just make up some of that high ground, low ground on the float. But the tech is so much faster here for Maru. He's already got a Cyclone on the way. His starport is done. He's adding Vikings. I mean, everything that Maru wants in this game is just, it's available to him just a little bit faster than what ByuN has. And that's the scary thing. It's not that, yeah, okay, you know, Maru's going to be up a worker or 2. It's the timing. It's the tempo. It's any sort of counterpunch that Maru may wish to throw. Now, eventually, this barracks will fall. And it's interesting that ByuN is building a 3rd barracks when he sacrificed one of them. I guess I get you want the kind of the scout, but you can sacrifice the Reaper for that and still find your way in. So now Maru just gets a positive trade here. He kills the Reapers on the map. That could have been a scout. That's done. And again, Maru is just... he's just playing better. Like, long and short of it here, Maru is just playing better than ByuN is in this series for whatever reason. So ByuN's going to try to do something. He's got 2 Cyclones and a Medevac, and that can be powerful. You can kill off Reapers, or you can kill off SCVs very quickly. But Maru gets the full scout. He's aware of what's happening here. He's going to see that, yes, this is not mech. Not that he thought ByuN was going for it, but he sees the stim timing. And now let's see what the Cyclone drop does. Lock on onto an SCV, building the 3rd base, and that's going to be delayed just a little bit. Lock on onto a tank as well is really nice, but they're going to be trapped in a corner here, and the lock on the Medevac actually is a big deal. Even still, tank will fall. Trade it for a Cyclone, though. So now, Stim's up, pretty even timing. I mean, ByuN's going to have a bit of an advantage that one. Now? Okay, that Hellion finally dead. ByuN actually has built himself a pretty solid supply lead here all of a sudden. What's our production at? It's 2 racks to 3. ByuN... Where is this... Oh, that's not what I want. Where is this... ByuN's lost more. Yeah, I don't know where the supply lead is coming from, actually. I guess Maru just cut some army to kind of get tech or get economy, something like that. But this triple drop now represents considerable threat. Really, truly considerable threat here. But there are 2 tanks already sieged up in the main base. So ByuN's Hail Mary attempts, they haven't worked in this series. They really haven't. We're going to have to see. Maybe he's going to be able to get another one. This one's getting set up to go. And maybe counterplay. As the Cyclone gets the lock on here. But there's just not enough to really put pressure at the front. Marines, they carpet bomb in, but SCV's pulled immediately. Your tank's already sieged. This is not going to work at all. I mean, 12 workers have died, and that's absolutely something. But it's 2 dead tanks here as well. The big news is Maru isn't able to go in and track it down. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hit the plus button. 2x speed, it would be very hard to cast. That would be rough. But anyway, 4 medevacs here for ByuN in the middle of the map. He just wants to continue this pressure. And he did find value at the start, even with the tank sieged up. He got, what was that, 11 workers? He got 15 workers overall. Oh, Widowmine on the medevac doesn't kill anything, but makes this hold a lot easier still as the tanks aren't sieged. But it's not a lot of army for Maru right now. He's going to have to bring the medevacs back here. Dropping on top, and the Ravens are oh so powerful. Even still, more Marines start to arrive. Cyclone gets knocked down. Maru cleans this up so cleanly. Doesn't lose really any workers at all. The tank will fall. Auto turret doing the rest, and a couple Marines. All that remain, and they're not going to be allowed to survive. They will fall here. Nice happenstance. All happenstance. Because that drop from Maru was meant to run onto the other side of the map and just find value that way. Instead, it opened up a massive flank, a beautiful flank there, and Maru just crushes this. He's now up 30 army supply. He's got 1-1. His upgrades are just faster here, and that's the advantage of this opener when he took no damage. So this third base probably won't die, but every SCV at the third base really, really should here. So it's going to force a lift as well. Tank on the high ground. Yeah, it's going to be a solid defensive play for now, but now Maru commits on top of things. Ravens look for the shutdown, but actually will get gunned down here. Even still, Marines stem on top, dead tank. And into the natural, Maru is going to find himself a little bit more value here. Liberators, they siege up, and that's something. Marines, though, backing up just for the moment. Getting themselves all nice and happy and safe as the Liberator will, or as the tank will eventually fall. But still, double army supply lead for Maru at this point. Stims forward, thinks about it, gets on top of the Liberator now. One will go down eventually, and here come the SCVs. Going to have to get pulled. 22 of them dead, and the long line of blue onto the other side of the map is just not something that ByuN can deal with anymore. Not at all. So ByuN, he gets 2-0'd in this series, forced to tap out, and Maru and Solar will be our final match here in Group A to determine who moves on and who goes home in the round of 8. Now, of course, if you liked this and you want more StarCraft content like this all the time, every single day of the week, you should like this video because that gives me all the warm fuzzies inside, but also you should hit the subscribe button because pretty much every day there's going to be new best of 3, best of 5, best of 7 awesome StarCraft games on the channel and Stormgate news analysis as it happens. So like the video, drop a sub, and let me know why Maru is just so good at TVT. I'll see you next time.